Okay, Leno, I got you up here next to Felix. Just want to point out one thing right off the get-go. If you notice, okay, how much weight he's got stacked into this back foot right here. Okay, especially when you're throwing from the stretch, which I think is very good for you, especially because you're going to have to manage the running game and have to hold runners on. This is important. So right away, I think you can start to stack your weight on that backside before you even start your delivery. Now let's get into. You're basically going in from a slide step position with not really much leg lift, which proves to me that you need to really, you do start to get some weight loaded back there, and that's good. Um, Whereas Felix takes a big leg lift here out of the stretch. But what I want to point out is about right here, you guys are in the same position. Okay. Notice his front shoulder. This is just like hitting. Okay. And his upper body, his front shoulder is coiled in this way. But your front shoulder is moving towards the target. Your upper body in general should be moving forward, but let's try to get coiled up a little bit. You notice how his glove and his hands get behind him here. Okay, now as you start to get into separation, okay, this looks pretty good, pretty similar. As we get closer to foot strike here, right before the heel hits the ground is where I want to start to point out some issues that you've got. Okay, we want to make sure the back elbow is never above the humeral head of our shoulder. This creates a ton of pressure on your growth plate and can impinge your shoulder. It's also going to cause a ton of arm drag. Notice where Felix's back elbow is at the same time and sequence during the delivery. Okay, and he's maintaining this upward shoulder plane, which is keeping his weight back longer, where you're really diving forward. Okay, and I think what's going to end up happening is you're landing heel down, but now look where your arm is not ready to throw. By the time he gets his foot down, okay, look at the difference here. This is one of the major things. His foot gets all the way down. Okay, you're doing a good job of your legs. I really like your lower half here. These angles all look really good. Very similar here. Okay, the biggest difference though is that his elbow is now inside of a 90-degree angle or close to it. 88 degree. I can't even measure your elbow, okay, because it's not cocked and loaded. You got to think about throwing a football. So what we got to do now, all of this motion right here, basically, so your body starts to move forward. Whoops, let me clear that. Your body and your head and everything starts to push forward. Okay. Now your arm is in a good position. But it needed to be into that position a lot earlier because you're working twice as hard to get to that position. Your glove is good and nice and coiled here. Okay. And I really like your arm slide. Your arm comes right through the middle of your ear there. Kind of the same thing with Felix. Last thing I'm going to point out that's going to help you get more extension on your release point, because you're releasing the ball about right here. And it's hard to see where these guys release the ball because it's way out in front. So it's not bad, but it could be, the ball could be coming off your fingers here. But you're really dragging this back foot a whole lot. And that's causing this leg right here to never firm up. Okay, and yeah, we want to finish with a flat back. Okay. More at this angle, though, with a strong post leg. That's going to help us stay on top of the ball and create a little bit more angle. So we really, right as you let go of the ball, we got to work on firming this leg up, and that's going to create a taller body for you. And your arm and your release point are going to create more of a downward angle. This is going to create a really flat trajectory. Okay, we know that hitting a ball that's on a flat movement rather than a downward plane is a lot harder. And your deceleration pattern is not bad. See, you eventually get to that position, but it needs to you get to it there. you need to be in that position right after you're let going of the ball, so you're just a little bit late, because there you eventually look pretty similar to Felix. So it's just a matter of timing. You know, a little bit stronger, but a good base to start with.